morning and welcome to the Mario Perspective show. This USA show is made because we represent the Hispanic community and current affairs mainly. Today we're going to talk about Elon Musk and Don Lemon. They had an interview and they canceled Don's contract on X. And he was on CNN saying that Elon Musk doesn't like opinions of people like him. Well, Don Lemon has always left a lot to be desired. I think he's very racist. I think he's very um, biased towards the black community and the gay community because the man is gay. If you're going to be on TV, you have to say the truth. If you're going to put your personal feelings on your interviews, this is the same guy that was on CNN. And when the President of the United States, Biden, the guy I voted for, and I regret, he's the worst president since Jimmy Carter, said they're going to put a black woman in the Superior Court, the Supreme Court of the United States. There was no outrage by Don Lemon. That's discrimination. Imagine if they would have said, we're going to put an Asian. It has to be an Asian woman. He would have been complaining because he's racist. And he doesn't like other people's point of view. He's never liked other people's point of view. Elon Musk did the right thing. And I agree with Elon Musk when it comes to Biden. We have the worst president in the United States. We have an open border that's ridiculous. It really hurts our country. And if this continues, we're not going to have a country. And nobody cares. We're more concerned about Ukraine's border than our border. We're concerned about all the crime. All the crime that's going on in Chicago with all those, they call them children. The other mayor, who's no longer there, she was saying that there were children, they were criminals. Mainly 90% were black. It's a reality. Okay. Now, there's too much bias in this country when it comes to jobs. I see CNN, I see Fox News full of black reporters, which is fine. What about the Hispanic reporters? They're not given the same opportunities. Imagine if all those jobs were done by Hispanics. The black community would blow up. Okay, they'll be so mad. And that's what's going on. This is why we need people like Elon Musk. And we need people like Donald Trump. We need Donald Trump back in the office. Why? Because we were energy independent. We were doing great. Jobs were good. But I remember Biden from when he was a senator. I thought he was a hell of a good senator back. You're talking about 30, 40 years ago. But now everything with Hunter and the abuse of power. And let's face it, there's two standards as far as our law is concerned. There's a standard for Democrats and there's a standard for conservative Republicans. And people are getting fed up. This election is the most important election of our lifetime. And I believe it's the most important election of our country. If Donald Trump is not elected, we're not going to have a country. I like the fact what Kennedy Jr. is doing, especially with Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers. He's a good quarterback. Because we need an outlet. I lived many, many years in California. Over 50 years in California. And I can tell you that state is going to the garbage. San Francisco, there's garbage on every street. Too many drug addicts, too many crime. Stores are closing. And I'm talking big stores. Why? Because you just can't go into a store and steal things and it's okay. Okay? There's got to be law and order. There is no law and order. Sanctuary cities is a ridiculous. It's anti-American. This is why I like the philosophy of Elon Musk. But there's got to be more voices that can say the right things to the people. You call a spade a spade. If something is not right in the Hispanic community, say it. I'm saying the border is open. It's ridiculous. There's too much drugs coming in. Nobody wants to talk about the cartels again. It's yesterday's news. There's a lot of problems. Okay? We need to put, this is the United States of America. We need to put our people first and protect our people. We're not doing that. Over 100,000 people are dying every year of fentanyl. What are we doing about it? The border's wide open. State of the Union, Biden talks about the border by saying like if it's not his fault. He could have done a lot of things. When he got into office, he stopped a lot of things that Donald Trump did that were good for our country. Let's talk the facts. Then you got fake news like CNN and others who are biased towards the Democratic Party. Whatever happened to being a journalist? Whatever happened to saying the truth, the American way? Whatever happened to being proud of who we are and not of what some groups want to turn us into? This is why Donald Trump must win this election for our sake, for the sake of our great country. If we don't do this, we're not going to have a country. And frankly, people like Don Lemon should not be on TV. Or people like Stephen A. Very biased, extremely biased. They're racist. Okay? Yet, the big corporations spoon feed us these people. This is wrong. This is not the American way. This is why I like Elon Musk. And I think what he did was right. And cutting off this guy, canceling his contract, was the best thing he could have done. Because you have people who are too biased and too prejudiced. I seen Don Lemon's shows when he was on CNN. He used to raise his voice if you say anything about the black community, and you gotta give money to the descendants of slaves. No, you don't. No, you do not. You want to get money? Go to Africa. Go to those black tribes that sold black slaves to the Portuguese who brought them here. Okay? Go get money from them. Not from the U.S. government. This has got to stop. We're not going to have a country. It's too divided. Okay? And they're acting like the black community was the biggest community in the United States. It is not. It's the Hispanic community. But the Hispanic community has no voice. And big corporations are not interested in giving the Hispanic community any voice. This is why we need people like Elon Musk. And I hope he sees this show. The Mario Perspective USA show is important because it gives a point of view from the Hispanic point of view. You know, the NFL is corrupt. They want to cater to the black community only. But you have people like Watson from Cleveland who who has a lot of problems. They should be thrown out of the league. This should be a league of gentlemen, of people who are not just professional athletes. Okay. Every sports show was talking how good Justin Fields was. Come on, the guy's 10 and 28. He's a good runner. He's not a good quarterback. See, when you say the truth, people hate you. They called you a hater. They called you. No, you call a spade a spade. And that's what Elon Musk has done. When they asked him, you're going to get criticized by this or that, he goes, I don't care. I don't care what people say. And he did the right answer. This is why it's important to have people like Elon Musk. And this is why it's vital to have Donald Trump back in the White House. This is very important. If we don't do this, we're going to lose our country. And one day, there will not be a United States of America. Why? Because we're letting these losers take over. And it's all because of the media. We need to stop this, and we need to start loving our country and remember who we are. And remember that God has always blessed the United States of America. And people don't want to hear about God. We are what we are because of God. Okay? Even Elon Musk respects God. Okay? Something like people like Don Lemon never talks about God. I wonder why. And they call themselves fair, just, and honest. And he says, Elon Musk doesn't want to talk to people like me. Who does? When you're prejudiced, when you're racist, and you've always shown your true colors.